banger of a little intro for the kids.
Why not?
Whew. Just the song we needed for a little NHL postseason.
Postseason preview.
I guess we don't really say postseason for NHL.
No, playoffs. But yeah. No, it's just that baseball frame of mind from the last couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, it's been a baseball frame of mind like dominant in my head the last couple of weeks because the Leaf game hasn't really mattered.
I was just gonna say I've never been so dialed into the Jays early on. Like usually I don't really like in years past.
I know.
Okay, well let's just like put the brakes on there a little bit but first. But in years past, definitely the type of guy that watch the Jays when I can, but don't really worry about it until really the Leafs are done playing, which has been pretty early in the last whatever years it's been in a row. But this year for me, as I stated last year after the Leafs lost in the first round, don't care about the regular season. Obviously I still enjoy watching my team, but
and they had
if the Jays and Leafs are on, there'd be times where I wouldn't even see a second of the Leaf game. I would just watch the entire Jays game.
That happened a couple times for me too, but it is time to start dialing up in the hockey.
It's
hockey season. It's playoff season.
It's our time.
It is our time.
It's our time.
Man, so we're gonna talk we're gonna fill out a bracket. That's what we're gonna do this episode. We're gonna fill out a Chump Talk bracket. The three of us are gonna dial it in here and get that set for you guys, and we're gonna preview the first rounds kind of as we go with that. Obviously, we'll take longer on some than others. But the way the NHL season wrapped up, there's a few that came down to the wire at the end. A few Pittsburgh, obviously. The one team probably that was in it till the end that didn't make it.
Yes, and that one's sad for me. Like sad for a lot of Canadians. Like we just, Crosby is our boy here in Canada, and the playoffs won't be quite right without him this year. But it looks like Pittsburgh's already kind of cleaning house with some management. So, but it does kind of feel like Pittsburgh's never really, like over the last, I don't know what you could argue, like 2 to 4 years, they've never really been that like juggernaut team heading into the playoffs. Really, like it's not like they've made like
kind of squeaked in a little bit.
Yeah, they've been getting there, but they haven't really been that top team. So I guess it was kind of.
But you can never count them out when they got in.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. You can never count out Crosby, Letang, and.
I think most people would have preferred Pittsburgh in over the Islanders for sure. I would have.
That's an understatement, dude.
Yeah, and the Islanders, credit to them, they got a little more exciting this year, especially adding Bo.
I can't even say because I just won't watch them.
Yeah, well, but
there's one thing that I will not be able to stand is watching Pierre Engvall play in a second round. If our boys don't.
We said if Pierre's playing in the second round and our boys are not, there's a chance this podcast ends.
Yes, and I will not be able to see that.
There's a chance that Chump Talk is just done if Pierre Engvall's in the second round. You might as well bring Martin Marincin up with the Islanders at that point.
I wonder who should actually check where he's playing.
Martin?
Probably in the Czech.
Yeah.
Or was he Slovakian?
One of those two.
But while you're looking that up, I just do have one question that's just like off topic, but I just wanted to get out of the way before we completely dive in. It's more of like an intro question. I was going to ask it earlier on, but I kind of forgot. So since we've last recorded, the Jays hadn't had a home game. You've been at 2 in this past week. Just lay out here the general vibes of the Rogers Center, because it looks incredible on TV anyway, and with the renovations and everything. What are the first impressions of everything for the people that have not been there yet? Because it looks incredible on TV.
Yeah, Martin Marincin just finished up with HC Okolak Trinkek in the Czech League. He is Slovakian though. But yeah, he played 48 games this year, 14 points for them. So Martin could be due for the Islanders if
maybe he was playing with the Army.
Yeah, if they need a big tall D that can't really skate or shoot or pass, they could sign him.
Yeah.
But Rogers Center, amazing. Yeah, as you said, I got to go to 2 games this week. I'm gonna try. Dunk actually said it yesterday in our Snap group. Are you gonna try to break a record for games attended at the Rogers Center this year? I'm going to try to break my own personal record.
Which is what?
Which I was thinking, I don't know for sure, but it's somewhere between like the 7 to 9 range. So this year my goal is to hit double digits at the Rogers Center. I want to get over 10 games.
You're off to a good start.
I'm off to a great start.
Yeah.
And there's one more confirmed booked with the work company.
Confirmed.
So I got three confirmed, and then I definitely want to get like kind of midsummer if there's weeknights when I'm not doing much or anything, and I don't mind getting home late on a Wednesday night. And
I was just going to say, we did that a couple of times
Yeah.
in the one season. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago now, but we went on a couple of weeknights, and it was just super chill vibes. We sit wherever you want in the stadium, basically. Like,
you got to know that like you still want to work the full day. The day. Yep.
I apologize, everyone.
Yeah, no worries.
My finger slipped.
we got a fidget spinner.
You still want to work that full day, so you got to just accept you're going to get caught in traffic and you might miss the first inning, but you get down there and you see the game and you get home late, and work might suck a little bit the next day, but that's the price you pay for some baseball.
That's the price you save. You pay to see a potential World Series team.
Yep, and they look like they have. I saw the MLB Power Rankings came out today, and the Blue Jays are number 3.
Yeah,
behind the Braves and the Rays, which I think is fair.
Yep,
I think that's fair
I
all around. The Rays look like a great team. I saw them. I was at the Sunday game, the only game they lost to the Rays. It was a 8-1 thrashing, not very close. Manoah, not good again.
Yeah, that's
Three of his
tough 4 starts now.
Yeah.
3 of the 4 have been.
3 of the 4 have been bad, and the one that was good was against Kansas City. So we're not going to sugarcoat it. He's been bad, but I'm not worried about him.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah, and they still, if you want to look at it in a positive way, 3 out of his 4 starts they've won.
Hey,
So he's only on the record for 1 loss, and that was on Sunday.
yeah. So the Manoah haters, cool it.
Yep.
Not every pitcher is going to pitch their best
I
game.
think his record is 1-1 on the year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
take that
definitely.
early.
Yep.
He's our ace. Let's just not forget that. We got to stay behind him.
Well,
it's when
I'm
people
fine.
start hating on players is when it mentally gets them and they
Definitely.
don't get it back.
No, and
we got to support our guy.
Yeah, I think if people want to say Gosman's an ace, I'll hear that. I'm fine with
Gosman's an
that.
ace too, but Manoah opening day or a young guy, like to me, like Manoah is
The ace of the future, but I think
what you hope. Yes, Gosman is better for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But yeah, I think we'll wrap that up with baseball talk for now because we got a full season of that. But the Jays are hot, and the Rogers Center, I recommend anybody getting there because those bars are cool.
Yeah, it looks like a great time.
Yeah, definitely. So us 3 will definitely be getting to some games this year, and we'll definitely be talking lots about the Jays as the season goes on. But it is hockey time.
Yeah.
So you got the bracket ready to go. We're going to fill it out as we go.
We're going to fill out a bracket on the NHL app.
So you want to say the series that we'll start with because you got the bracket there, and we'll we'll go from there.
You want to start with the East or the West?
East.
East? Okay. We'll go with our first series here. We're going to go with our President's Trophy winners, the Boston Bruins taking on the second wildcard team, the Florida Panthers. Just scraped in Boston 121 points on the year, Florida 83. So that's about a difference of 20 wins.
Yep.
Goals for, both of them pretty offensive teams. It's the goals against where the Bruins are ahead of everyone else. They average 2 goals against per game, Florida 3.4. So Bruins definitely have the upper hand defensively and in the net. But what do you look to in this series? Because the Bruins just had a historic season where they only lost 12 games. At this point, it's hard to imagine them losing 4 games within 7 games after they only lost 12 throughout 82. But
what I will say about this series is if I could have picked, because obviously any Leaf fan, and we all are, we're cheering for Boston to lose. That's just what you do as a Leaf fan. And I think most fans of any other team is probably cheering for the team that had a historic regular season to lose first round. That'd be amazing. Don't think it's going to happen, but I will say out of the 3 teams that were gonna had the potential to play Boston, and Pittsburgh, Florida, and Islanders, out of those 3, if I had to pick one to play Boston, it would be Florida. I don't think any of them can beat them, but I think with the Matthew Tkachuk factor, I think that series could get a little rowdy.
Yep.
So what I'm hoping from that series is that the Panthers can hopefully take it to 6 games, and you never want to cheer for injuries, but you hope that maybe some Boston players get a little banged up in that series.
Yeah, and that's what we got to remember with Boston. Like, it is an older core. If they do start having those issues, like, we got to remember these guys were healthy pretty well throughout the entire season. They've all played 80 games.
They do.
At some point, their body could start wearing down, and you never know what happens.
And again, we're not going to cheer for that.
No, we're not going to cheer for that. Yeah, and you never cheer for an injury, but bumps and bruises that take a guy off his game a little bit, I'll cheer for that.
This is where Florida and Boston are going to be separated. I think they both have pretty, as you said, their goals for are about the same. You said.
Yep.
So they both have pretty elite offensive talent. I think like the Florida power play with Ekblad and Brandon Montour at the back. Those were like 2 of the highest scoring D in the league this year. But
Yes.
like Erik Karlsson obviously
Florida
won.
actually better power play percentage.
Yeah, well, they had an elite, like those two, Ekblad and Montour. I don't know the exact stats on that, but those two carry the power play. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they have more goals than like Barkov or Tkachuk on the power play.
I know. And you know what blew me away? I seen Florida play just briefly the other day. I can't remember who they were playing. But Montour, or maybe it was against the Leafs,
Yeah,
actually.
he set the record against the Leafs. He scored. And
he is fast. I just kind of thought he was more of like a two-way defenseman.
No.
That guy is like... That guy's a valuable weapon back there. Like, he is good.
100%. He's great. And Ekblad's really good too. And then that Gustav Forsling.
Yeah, Forsling. He plays big minutes.
He can fly.
Yeah.
He can fly. But where they're separated though, Florida takes a lot of risks offensively. Boston's just going to exploit that.
Yes.
Like the second some of those Panthers D are pinching, it's all of a sudden going to be a 2-on-1 with Marchand and Pasty, and that's just going to end bad because the starting goalie for Florida going into it is Alex Lyon.
Yeah.
So they got Bobrovsky signed for $9 million. He's sitting on the bench. Spencer Knight.
So is that what's happening? Like, it's not like Bob's just like he is healthy.
Well, yeah, he backed up the game against the Leafs that they needed to win, and they started Alex Lyon.
Yeah, that's wild.
And they didn't beat the Leafs that game. They lost in overtime, but Johnny T scored a great goal that game. But with the goaltending situation, Allmark and Swayman both been awesome this year.
Yeah.
One could argue maybe just the team's awesome. Those goalies aren't great, but they're. Yeah. I mean, Allmark's probably going to win the Vezina with the numbers he put up. Like, do you have his record? Actually, I got it right here. He was 46-1 this year. 46-1.
No.
Linus Allmark.
He had one loss.
6.
Oh, 6.
46-1. 6 losses and then 1 in overtime.
Oh, I thought you said 46.
No, sorry,
like
40
460. 46-1.
-1.
Still
7 losses.
Phenomenal.
6 in regulation. Insane.
Yes.
And
Wow.
Alex Lyon, 9-4-2. So that's your 2 starting goalies going into playoffs, and that's why Boston is, I think, going to win the series, and it would be a major, major upset if they didn't. But like we said, we're cheering for Florida. So I mean,
I think we're debating between, because you kind of mentioned before 6.
Yeah.
I said, in my mind, I was kind of thinking 5 before.
Yeah.
Just because this is such a veteran Boston team.
Yeah, I like 6 because I think Barkov can win you a game.
No, I agree.
And I think Matthew Tkachuk can do some things, and then those defense and power plays if Boston runs into some shit that way.
Yeah.
So I'm good with 6 if you're good with 6.
Yeah, let's go 6.
Okay, boss. Dunk, confirmed you're good with Boston in 6?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry, I was
No, that's all right. You're good. You said what you needed to say. Confirmed.
confirmed.
Yep.
Confirmed. We'll have to write down after we do just remember 6 in your
Okay.
head.
Yep.
Next year, we're going to go to whoever wins this series plays Boston. It is our Leafs, the second in their division against Tampa, third in their division. Leafs have home ice this series. Obviously, we don't need to talk about the history. We know that they played last year. We know that Tampa won. We know that the Leafs had the series lead. I feel like the general vibe on social media is that everyone thinks the Leafs are a better team than Tampa, but the Leafs were favored last year to beat Tampa in that series too. And I kind of remember just reading basically the same tweets that Leafs are a better team. So when I see those Twitter people, those sports analysts saying the Leafs are the better team, maybe they are, but I think this is an even series, though.
I prefer not to see those things. I don't
like seeing it.
I would prefer if everybody picked against the Leafs in this series.
I totally agree. And I don't think they should be favored.
Except
You have
us.
to take into factor the history
Yeah.
and the struggles the Leafs have had. Like, we couldn't even beat Montreal up 3-1 that one year. Like, we got to take into effect here that we can't somehow get out of the first round. So, to me, I look at this as an even series, but obviously there's only one winner in the series in my mind. And,
Yep. So just to kind of get in that series, we are for the Leaf diehards, and we're one of those. We're going to read the lines that at practice they look to be the lines going into game one.
Them.
You saw them? Okay, so Matthews is centering Marner and Bunting, which I was always pro having Bunting back on that top line. I was always wanting that for playoffs. So I
think that's his best value.
I think that is the best value for Michael Bunting. So you got Matthews centering Marner and Bunting, and then you have Ryan O'Reilly on the second line. This is where people weren't sure what they were going to do. They have Ryan O'Reilly centering Nylander and Tavares. So you saw this a little bit when Ryan O'Reilly first got with the Leafs. They stacked 2 lines a little bit. And they're going to try to ride those guys, and those are the top 6 that are going to have to win the series for us. But where we are better than we have been in the past is the bottom 9. And then Noel Ajari is going to be sending Calle Yarncrook, and Calle Yarncrook,
he's a very good player.
He is a very good player. The criticism on him was that he only really got points this year when he was playing with Matthews or playing with Johnny T. So you hope that Yarncrook can get you a couple goals in that third line, but then you got Ajari and Kerfoot on the third line. And Kerfoot, you know, that he's got a lot of criticism this year, and I've given him a lot of criticism too.
Yeah.
But last year, if you remember in playoffs, he was pretty steady.
I was just gonna say, we got to wipe the
it's a clean slate for all these
Yeah.
guys. So that third line, we'll see Ajari, Yarncrook, and then
I like that line.
and then Camp centering Lafferty and Aston Reese, and then Matthew Nines is the extra with Wayne Simmons.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, and I said I wanted that game 1. I would be shocked if we don't see him in this series, though.
I would be shocked too, but I also like if things are working. Like
Yep.
I don't need to see Matthew Nyes. I need to see a Leaf series win.
Yep, and I do think he could play a part in a series win too.
For sure
Watching
could.
him those last 3 games, he looks ready to go.
Yeah, he's
Like,
a quick guy, big body.
There's the argument that you could say that he created more in his 3 games than a guy like Lafferty's kind of created in his last 17 games with the Leafs.
Lafferty is a guy that's kind of took some heat on the media for sure.
A little bit that way, but I think he's still a grindy kind of guy that can help you in a playoff series. Aston Reese looked great down the stretch. He probably would have been the odd man out if he didn't look how he looked coming down the stretch.
Yeah.
And you're going to leave Camp in there because Camp's elite PK, elite face-off guy, elite defensively. Everything you want from your fourth line center is David Camp.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. And then
Defense is interesting.
defense is interesting.
8 guys that are good enough to play in my mind.
Yep, there's nine guys on the roster that going into playoffs. Eight guys that are good enough. I agree. Brody and McCabe is going to be your shutdown pair this playoffs, and I like that. I think
fire me up for that.
I think they're your 2 best shutdown guys.
Yep.
So they're going to be the top pairing, and then you have Luke Shen and Morgan Riley. Love that.
Yes. Shenner, Morgan Riley just seems like
yes.
it was meant to be.
It was,
know,
and they played some games together this year, and Riley seemed a little more loose with Shen because Shen's not going to be jumping up in the play.
No, he knows that Shen is going to be there for him.
Yeah, but he also knows Shen's speed. Shen's speed lacks a little bit. There's no denying that. So Riley has elite speed as a defender.
Yeah.
So I just think those 2 together are great. And then Hall and Giordano. Giordano has to be in there, and Hall you can say maybe Liljegren should have been in for Hall. You could say Gustafsson maybe deserves a shot just for his offensive. I'm fine with Gustafsson not being in the top 6 for sure to start.
Me too.
If Liljegren was in there instead of Hall, I wouldn't have been angry.
No, I wouldn't be either. I kind of wanted that in a way, but I'm also I'm going to trust everything that the Leafs have made, and I think we will see Liljegren for sure.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance you see him too. But Hall does a lot of the little things that people don't appreciate with block shots and PK too. And
I will admit, I have been a person that has shit on Justin Hall through his career at times. I've also been
supportive.
high on him. Yeah. Yes, we've been up and down on him, but I'm definitely okay with him starting in the top 6.
Yeah, so he's going to be back there with Gio, and that's our lines with Samsonov and net. Quick power play before we kind of just talk about a few other things in the series, and we've got to talk about Tampa too.
Yeah.
Power play 1, you have Riley out there, and instead of Nylander with the normal crew of Matthews, Marner, and Tavares, you have Ryan O'Reilly, who's going to be your middle guy on that power play, which I think I like because I obviously I'm a huge Willie guy. I'd like to see Willie on the top unit because he's elite. He has been elite all year. 40 goal scorer, first time in his career. But putting him on the second unit gives you
an elite shot on your second unit
for sure. And Yarncrook also has an elite shot, and he's out there. And then so the second unit is Gio, Nylander, Yarncrook, Kerfoot, Bunting.
Yeah. So
it's not your best unit out there. They're not going to get too much. They're not going to get too much work.
No.
Like if they Leafs have a power play late in the game, there's no way Matthews and Marner are coming off for the whole 2 minutes.
No, and I feel like if they've been on for 30, 40 seconds, like I would not be, and there was a whistle, let's say, I would not be surprised if O'Reilly, whoever slipped off, and Nylander still got some.
Whoever's gassed, or even if Riley goes off, and then see this is the only part where a guy like Gustafsson or Liljegren would be a little nice to have because those guys are great. Like Gio's not necessarily a guy you want on your second unit as the D.
Yeah.
But he's steady and he knows not to fire it into shin pads, so he can get the pucks through and hopefully that second unit could maybe get us a goal. The special teams obviously are going to be very important, and the way penalties were called in this series against Tampa and Toronto last year, there's probably going to be too many power plays again because refs just for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying they're all against the Leafs. Like, they're sometimes against Tampa too, but there was just way too many power plays last year.
And I think I did say this in a previous episode, but the Leafs in the last, 8 years or something like that, penalties drawn or whatever, just like penalties against, they're always in the bottom of the league, like the top or the bottom 8 of the league they've been.
Yeah.
So like that does make you wonder a little bit when the Leafs just aren't getting power plays. Like
Yeah, 100%. I just quickly, I did see 5-on-3. They had some practice routes for 5-on-3.
okay,
5 forwards: Matthews, Nylander, Marner, O'Reilly, Tavares. So please give us one 5-on-3 to watch.
you imagine?
Please let us see that. Okay, this is how I've been looking at this series when I've been thinking about it. And first of all, any Leaf fan that says they're not nervous is lying.
Yes,
Is lying. If
or
you're
is just not a real fan.
yeah, you have to be nervous, especially with how years past have gone.
Yes.
But so first reaction for me in this series is nerves, big time nerves. Second reaction is Vasi is going to steal one game for Tampa. Mm-hmm. One game for
Guaranteed.
sure. So
Guaranteed.
there's one win for Tampa.
Yep.
The Leafs are probably going to make a mistake late and lose one other game. Mm-hmm. So there's 2 wins for Tampa. Mm-hmm. I think Samsonov has a chance to steal one game. Mm-hmm. He's done it. He's had shutout. I think he was like top 3 in the league in shutouts, maybe even higher.
Yeah.
Don't know that for sure. I just said that, but
Well,
Samsonov
let me take a quick peek.
Samsonov can steal one game. So if you're looking at that way, so far it's 2-1 Tampa. And then you just hope that out of the other 4 games,
Yeah.
that you can have Matthews steal one. You can have Marner. Marner's been elite all year, obviously 99 points in the season, 1 off 100, and he's been incredible all year. You just hope that he can have a 3-point night, set up a couple back doors for the boys, and they win one.
Yeah.
So you just hope that in the rest of those games, the better team prevails, and I think the Leafs are the better team.
They, on paper,
I know they
sure,
are. I know
the better
they are
team.
the better team.
Yes.
And
yes.
during the season, they were the better team, and when they played Tampa, they were the better team.
Yes. And one thing that I've heard where Tampa, like, not to say that I know this information too well myself, but one thing they're lacking on allegedly is kind of defensive depth. Like, obviously they have their Sergachev and Cernak and Hedman and whatever. Like, they do have 3 really top good defensemen, but after that, it's like Toronto's bottom 3 would definitely like noticeably be better than Tampa's bottom 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you just look at some of the offensive stats throughout the year, Tampa was 8th in goals for in the year. Leafs were 9th. Shots on goal, Tampa was 13th. Leafs were 12th. Power play percentage, Leafs were 2nd. Tampa 3rd. Shooting percentage, Leafs 9th. Tampa 17th. Or 7th. 7th actually, even better. Face-off percentage, Leafs 4th. Tampa 11th. So close all the way around. Mm-hmm. And the goalie situation, obviously, you know what Vasi's done, but really Samsonov had a better year.
Yeah, no, he did. Statistically, he did. But when it comes down to our games for the series, like, obviously we're going with the Leafs, right? Like, Leafs are winning the series.
Yeah, they are.
1,000%. For me, just thinking it's a different year, no Game 7 this year.
Yeah, I don't want to see a Game 7.
I don't either. That's honestly why I'm going this way.
I want
Leafs
so
in 6.
badly Leafs in 6.
Yes, yes. Can we please have Leafs in 6?
I just don't want to. I don't want to work on a random Wednesday where Game 7 is that night, and I'm just like sitting there, putting my flooring in, just being like, not again.
And there's going to be the chodes at work that don't care about the Leafs and are just going to be throwing it in your face.
Oh, the next morning, like, oh, that was tough, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I almost didn't wake up this morning. That's
so.
I don't want to talk about it.
Leafs in 6.
Leafs in 6. Dunk anything on the Leafs? What are? I mean, you've watched some Leafs playoff series. Like last year, you were dialed in with the boys. We watched a lot of them here.
Yep.
What do you want it bad? Like, do you want it?
I want it.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry.
You're hungry for it. So Leafs in 6. You're good with that?
Leafs in 5.
Leafs in 5. Love it. I want that so bad. Give me Leafs in 4. Then we rest up for Boston, but official Leafs in 6.
Okay.
Official pick.
Our 2 arch nemesis, though, eh?
Yeah, Tampa, Boston. And if we beat Tampa, Boston will be waiting for us.
Mm-hmm. Or Florida.
Yeah, or Florida.
Let them know.
Or Florida.
Let them know.
I want Boston. I want them.
I do too.
If Florida beats them, it'll be fine. But
Yeah,
I want Boston. I want them bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Never mind. I was gonna say take October, but
Yeah.
take April and May.
Take April and May.
Yeah, take May.
Take May.
And then, are we ready to move on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. We're gonna go with the other.
We didn't say too much about Tampa's like players though.
Well, it's their same guys really.
Yeah.
Like they have their same guys. They're all healthy. Like the Cooch, the Stammer, Braden Point, a 50-goal season. Like
Yep.
you know, like they're the Tampa team they are. I feel like the last 3 or 4 years. Like besides bottom 6 changes or bottom 3D changes,
you
they're
still
basically
got
the same
rat
team.
Corey Perry running around. You still
Yeah.
got Pat Maroon, who Luke Shen beat the shit out of.
And good for Luke Shen because
Yeah.
I know him and
Sets
Patty
the tone.
are buddies, but
Yeah,
like
no friends on the ice.
No friends anymore. Like
Luke Shen is going to play a major factor in this series, and and it's going to be with the physicality.
yeah,
Because Tampa will run around, especially that fourth line when Perry and Maroon are out there, and that Ross Colton guy, and that Tanner Janot.
Ross Colton's a bitch.
If Tanner Janot gets, I didn't know he's hurt, but I saw he was back on the ice. So if he gets in
really?
these series, he's a rat.
Yeah, Tampa's got.
They got rats.
Yeah, they do.
So,
they do.
But and just for a little insurance policy when it comes to the physical side, we do have Wayne Simmons sitting in the press box.
We do.
We're not afraid to bring him in if we have to.
No.
It's not ideal because your fourth line's not getting too much
I
meaningful.
love Wayne personally, but
Yeah.
I personally don't want to necessarily see him
No.
in the lineup. But I mean, if it has to be done, it has to be done. I'm not going to be
If somebody
Wayne in
if
the
somebody
lineup,
needs
but-
the shit beat out of
Yes.
you know who to call, the wing train.
But I like
Or
their fourth line
Luke
now. I think their fourth line has tons of speed and has potential to put up offensive chances. So
Yep.
let's go.
Okay, we can move on.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Leafs in 6, baby.
The other division winner against the first wildcard team, we got the Carolina Hurricanes coming in first. Also had a very good season. Not necessarily talked about a bunch, but a great season going up against the Islanders, who were that wildcard team. Just getting my stat here. Points this year, yes, as we mentioned, Carolina 103, New York 87. Goals per game, Carolina well over 3, Islanders just under 3. So, a typical New York team, not really putting up a bunch of goals. Power play percentage, Carolina 21, Islanders 15. Penalty kill is even better on Carolina's side. So, statistically, obviously, the series leads pretty heavily to Carolina, but also
There's a major factor.
there's a major factor in Ilya Sorokin.
Yes.
Like
I also have a
those
question
could be
before you keep
2-1
going.
wins. Yes.
Is Freddie Anderson hurt?
Not to
Because
my
Antti Ranta is
knowledge.
confirmed for game 1 tonight.
Really?
And we're recording Monday, so we're not seeing game 1 when you guys hear this, but on the score, Antti Ranta is confirmed for game 1.
Really?
And I know they had that young goalie too that came up and
Kukurokin.
yeah, him.
Yeah.
I know he played a bunch of games this year, but Freddie Anderson.
And he was good too.
I mean, I would assume Freddie has to be hurt if he's not starting, right?
Well, I don't necessarily know if Freddie is the number 1 in Carolina throughout the season. Well, Freddie did play 34 games.
Yeah.
Statistically was a little bit worse than Ranta.
There's nothing that says he's hurt, so Freddie Anderson might be backing up tonight.
Yeah. I
game one.
wonder if they're going to kind of be a little interchangeable, though, for Carolina in that series.
Sure. Yeah, that there's a very real possibility of that.
But without looking at your phone, who led Carolina in points this year?
Svechnikov probably would have, but he got hurt. I know Martin Nikas put up some points.
Martin Yikas.
It was him.
Yeah.
Wow.
71
He
points.
had more than Aho.
Yeah, Aho had 4 less points than him, but also 7 less games played. So
Martin.
points per game, Aho was a tiny bit better. But yes, Martin Nikas.
Yeah.
Led, and which is a name that came into the league under the radar.
Yep.
First couple years under the radar, and now he's kind of blossoming. So
Yeah, no.
you love to see a guy that kind of finds his own way with just a bit of time.
Yep, I'd agree. Carolina's the team to beat in this series. I think they, they're kind of built for playoffs. The way they played all year, they're really deep. They got guys like Timo Teravainen still that people don't talk about. He had a bit of a down year, only 12 goals. But when you have Jordan Staal as a third, fourth line center, he's going to win big faceoffs for you. Brent Burns is a factor they haven't had in years past. He's obviously He had another big year. He was third in their team in points, 61 points in 82 games. Played all of them. Brent Burns just as steady as they come back there. I do like Carolina in this series, but Sorokin, Bo Horvat, Matthew Barzal. Those are three names that can change a series pretty quick.
Yep.
So
and Pierre Engvall playing on the second line. But how about this
with
fourth
who?
line?
With who?
Brock Nelson and Kyle Palmieri.
Jeez.
Anders Lee also on that first line with Horvat and Barzal. Third line, Parise, Pajot.
Yep.
Hudson Fashing.
And
don't know that
and
name.
Fourth line, the same as it always is.
Fourth line, the same as it always
Matt
is.
Martin, Casey how do you say that?
Casey Cizikas.
Cizikas and
Yeah.
Kyle Clutterbuck.
Yep. That has got to be the longest tenor
Fourth
running
line.
or just any line in the league.
Maybe.
Like, wow. That's got to be at least 5. Well, ever since Martin went back to New York.
Yeah, and credit to him. Credit to Lou for keeping those guys around too.
No,
It's
I
nice.
respect the hell of it.
Yeah, and Martin never really had it with the Leafs, but he's always been an impact player with the Islanders. So
Yeah.
they can. I think that series has potential to go some games. I do think Carolina will prevail, but I'd be fine saying 7.
I would be fine saying 7 too.
Dunk, are you fine with saying 7 in Carolina and the New York Islanders?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So we're all on the same page there.
All right. And our battle of there's a special word for it from the New Yorkers here. The battle of whatever river maybe they got going on. New Jersey and the New York Rangers.
The Hudson?
Yeah, the Hudson. That's what it was.
The battle of the Hudson.
Man, I just got to be more confident. I was going to say that, but then I'm like, Hudson Bay, is that what they call it?
No, the Hudson River.
Yeah, what's Hudson Bay then?
That's like what's north of Ontario.
Yeah, okay. That's why I didn't say anything, because I am dumb.
Yeah, you still would have been right.
Well, no, because I
way.
would have said Bay for
okay,
sure.
you would have said Bay?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Hudson River.
That's where that plane landed there in that move.
Yeah. Remember
okay.
we drove over that bridge, maybe one of them?
Yeah, we drove over
Yeah.
the Hudson.
Right, on the way to the Yankee Stadium.
Yep. But
Okay.
anyway, we got the battle of the Hudson here.
I
The
won.
New York Rangers against the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah.
The Devils actually have home ice. They finished with 102.
Yeah, they're the better
New
team.
York with 98. Yes, goals per game, pretty similar. New Jersey slightly better. Goals against per game. New York just slightly better. Power play percentage about the same. Penalty kill about the same. Statistically, these teams match up pretty evenly.
Except for goaltending.
Except for goaltending.
I don't care what the stats say. Igor Shesterkin and Vitek Vanacek. That's not a great matchup for the Devils.
No, I agree.
And what do you got? Mackenzie Blackwood coming in as a backup. You know what? That's going to end well.
Yes.
Not.
So this is my thoughts on it. Yeah. F that guy. Myra meathead.
Yeah, piece of shit.
This is where my head was kind of out this series. Everything inside of me wants the Rangers to get swept.
Oh, so badly.
But with that
would-
being said, to me, the New Jersey Devils are just this team, first year in the playoffs.
Yep.
They've got some learning to do. They've
Yep.
got a lot of young players.
most that haven't been there, Jack Hughes, Jasper Bratt, they haven't been there. Those are their best players.
Yep. And the Rangers are filled with vets and
Patty Kane
talented
being
vets.
one of them.
Yes, talented vets, better goaltending. So to me, I hate to say it, but I think the New York Rangers do win this series. I think it has potential to go, the distance or whatever, but I'd be lying if I said there's a high chance I will be tuning into the series.
Yeah, no.
Maybe if there's absolutely nothing else going that night.
If
but
I see New Jersey has a chance to win the series ever, then
Yeah.
I'll probably dial in there.
no, but the Rangers just.
And I'd
I
just
don't
be
know.
thinking about Christian D17 the whole time.
I know. I
I
can't deal with that.
Nothing in me wants to pick the Rangers because mostly of that man.
Right.
But I've hated the team forever, but he makes me
But
hate
when we're going
him.
for credibility for the pod here, we got to think about that too.
We do, and I just want to shout out Nico Hischier. He had 80 points in 81 games this
Yeah.
year. I think that's got to be
That's the first overall pick that, again, took a little bit longer,
Yep.
but now is fully blossomed.
Captain of the team too, and second only behind Jack Hughes. Dougie Hamilton, another great year. Timo Meyer, they got him.
Yeah.
He didn't really do too much when he came over, but he had 40 goals on the year, so you can't sleep on him in playoffs. And they have depth players. They do have Andre Palat. That's a guy you can't deny.
Right. No.
He's been there.
He's been there more than once.
Yep. So I'm glad Tampa doesn't have him. Actually,
Yeah, I know.
I'm real glad.
He
was a pain in
I'm not
the
going to miss
ass.
him. No, that's exact type of guy, two-way player,
Mm-hmm.
gets it done offensively and defensively.
Yeah, but I do think I don't even know if the Devils are gonna make it to like Game 6.
Really?
Yeah, I hate to say it.
Yeah.
I just don't see them
No,
as like
if you're kind of on,
like
thinking that
even
way.
when they were on their big winning streak this year, it's just like it's the Devils.
I know.
Like the
Devils don't scare me.
And I hope I'm wrong. I would
too.
love nothing more than to be wrong about this one.
Me too.
I just don't think the Devils even have a chance
If
in this
they had
series.
been there already a couple of years with this current core they have, then I'd probably look at it differently. But to me, this is going to be a learning curve series.
D-Sabs is hammering the money line on Devils every game too.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
So hopefully he makes a shit ton of money this playoffs and the Rangers are out. That'd be sweet.
But Rangers in
5.
Okay.
Yeah. Hate to say it.
Yep. Okay, so now it's just asking the games now. So Boston in 6.
Yep.
We had the Leafs in 6.
Yep.
Carolina in 7. And then New York in
5 or 6, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Dunk 5 or 6.
5.
Yep.
5. I like it.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it.
Do we want to quickly just fill out the rest of these? We're not going to talk about these series, but we are filling out a bracket, so we do have to go all the way.
Yep.
Leafs, Boston.
Yeah.
Let's go with our heart.
Yeah.
Carolina, New York.
Carolina
for me too.
Yeah.
New York, I could see winning, but I'm just not going to pick them.
No shot.
Okay, so Leafs, Carolina for the East. It's funny how that works out.
Oh man, I couldn't even imagine, dude. Imagine watching 3 series, and 4 if they win that one.
I know.
I can't, dude. Some of my greatest watching hockey memories have came in the last 4 years watching the Leafs in the first round. They've never ended well.
No,
but there's been games where it's like, this is the team.
I know.
They are going to win the series. And
we thought that after game 1 last year.
And I'll never remember sitting. I know exactly where I was sitting in my parents' basement. I don't know if either of you were there for this one when the first time Boston beat the Leafs in the playoffs is when they blew the 4-1 lead late. I remember exactly where I was sitting. I remember thinking, we're going to the second round.
Yeah.
Because that was game 7. They were up 4-1 in the third period. I'm like, I'm going to watch.
Remember that.
Yeah.
That was when Funuff
was on the team, for sure. It was Reimer and net. We don't need to talk about it, but I know exactly where I was sitting, and I remember thinking like,
it was a sad evening.
We're seeing the Leafs in the second round,
right?
And I was like, I can't even comprehend that.
No, dude, to see second round is going to be insane. Let's just say, let's say we get there. To see a second round would be insane.
Yeah, I prefer you to put the wood in.
Sorry, that's my bad. That's the stupidity on my part.
Yeah. Don't go saying stuff like that. We'll cut that part out.
But getting back to this, I think we would be absolute frauds if we didn't pick the Leafs in a way.
Yeah, Leafs are going to the Cup.
Yes, exactly. We've been talking about it for so long. They have such an insanely good roster.
Yes, they're going.
They beat the Boston
They have Ryan
Bruins.
O'Reilly this year.
Let's just put this out there. The Leafs beat the Boston Bruins. Let's just say somehow that series happens.
Yeah.
The Leafs are going all the way.
Yeah.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
Okay.
No one else out there has the Leafs going to the Cup final. We do.
Yeah. And let's jump ship to the West now.
Yeah. So he was playing the Leafs in the finals.
Okay, in the West here, we got our first seed, the Colorado Avalanche, against our first wild card team, the Seattle Kraken. Kind of an interesting match there. Seattle wasn't really a team that I necessarily followed a bunch this year.
Nope.
I kind of thought they were going to be dog shit again.
Yep.
And here they are with 90 points and in the playoffs. So shout out to Seattle for getting things kind of figured out there after a rocky first inaugural start to their franchise, but here they are in the playoffs with a chance to take down the defending champs. So, goals per game wise, Seattle actually averaged more than Colorado. Goals per game, Colorado better in that department. Power play, Colorado definitely better. Penalty kill, Colorado better. The leading scorer for Seattle.
Yeah, I got
our
it.
boy.
Yeah. Should be a Leaf.
Should have been our boy.
Should be a Leaf. Still to this day, that was the wrong decision. That's fair to say. It should have been probably Kerfoot going to Seattle, not McCann.
Yeah,
but it is what it is, and we're not going to dwell on the past. But
and Kerfoot's going to be big for us. But,
definitely. But when shout out Seattle for sure. With the roster they have, no one would have thought they were making the playoffs. They were a bottom 5 team in the league last year.
Yep.
Matty Beniers had a good rookie season. Likely going to win the Calder.
Yep.
He had 48 points in 80, he had 57 points in 80 games. As you said, Jared McCann led the team in points. Vince Dunn, great year, 64 points in 81 games. Eberle, another 20-goal year. He's just slowly putting together a great career.
Yeah, just racking up points and
but
doing it quietly.
I think this series is going to be a bloodbath.
You think it's going far?
No, like a thrashing, an ugly one.
Oh,
Like Seattle lucky to get a win.
yeah, that's where I'm kind of at too. Like in my
Martin
mind,
Jones and
there's just
Philip
no
Grubauer
way.
are their goalies.
I know.
Not what you want to see.
No.
And Nathan McKinnon coming down on those guys, I just think like Colorado definitely. I wouldn't say the force they are last year, and mainly because they're not going to have their captain for the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
Gabriel Landeskog is out for the year.
But they do have the best defense in the league and top 3 forward in the league.
Top 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
Top 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brandon again.
The number
finished
2.
top 10 in points, so you can argue 2 of the top 10.
I think just a little side note. I think it's not even a question. The top 2 in the league until they're done. That like McDavid and McKinnon for like they have been for the last maybe 4 years, and I think they will be for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Maybe a little less. McKinnon, I don't know how old he is exactly, but those guys are just the clear number 1, 2 in the league, and there's never been such a defined second best player in the league, and I think we do have that in the league right now.
Yeah.
McKinnon is easily the second best player in the league.
Yeah.
I think so.
No one close to McDavid.
No. Well, if McKinnon's, I don't think far off. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but
Like, the way-
let's
the
just
way
be
he
honest here. Like
no.
McDavid just decided he was going to score goals this year,
Yep.
and look how many goals he put up.
Yeah, no. I'm 100% agree. McDavid,
No one
top
can do
tier.
that the way McDavid can.
I think McKinnon has the ability to.
He's McKinnon for sure. I'm agreeing that he's
Yeah.
the second or third best player in the league, or whatever you want to say.
Who else are you comparing him to?
AM34, just because he had a bit of a down season doesn't mean
Matthews.
people were debating between him. I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Last year, people were debating between Matthews and McDavid as the best player in the league.
Yeah, no, and I never said that. And
I'm not like obviously right now
Yeah.
Matthews isn't the second best player in the league.
no, and
But
Matthews still a top
he
5
can
player to
be.
me too. For sure, he
Yeah.
can be. But I just think it's defined at least right now.
Yeah, that's
McDavid
fair.
and McKinnon can just take over games.
So is Seattle stealing the game?
I think I don't know.
Like sweeps do happen.
Yeah, and I think it's very possible.
Okay.
Do you think Seattle steals a game, or are they going to get swept?
They got 1 in them.
Okay.
It's a close game.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll
win one at home
and
just for the home.
Yeah,
ice thing.
I really hope that.
Yeah, me too.
And I do want to see. I want to tune into one game in Seattle, see what the fans are like.
I agree.
Because Vegas got loud when they came in, and it's nice to see new teams do well too. So
Yep.
I would like to see Seattle take the series deep. I wouldn't even be angry if they beat Colorado.
No.
But yeah, we'll go 5.
Yep. Okay. Next series, we got Dallas Wild and the Dallas Stars and the Minnesota Wild. Sorry, I'm just like reading so many things as I'm talking here. The Dallas Stars against the Minnesota Wild, both in the same division, the second and third seed there. Minnesota finished with 97 points, Dallas with 94, so Minnesota will have home ice advantage. Goals per game, Dallas had the edge by about half a goal per game. Goals against per game, Minnesota Wild and Marc-Andre Fleury still getting it done late in his career. Power play percentage about the same. Penalty kill percentage about the same. To me, this is one of the most exciting matchups for me outside of the Leafs.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
I just think...
You know how I was going to open my statement about this series?
Really?
I was going to say I couldn't give a rat's ass about this series.
Well...
As Matt throws his phone.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just throwing my phone around the room.
I don't have anything against either team. I'd probably, if I'd say a team I liked better, I'd get some new blood and going deep.
I think the
Wild.
games in Minnesota will be fun.
Yeah, no, I could see that. And power to people that think this could be a fun series. I personally wouldn't say I care too much about either of these teams. And you said Marc-Andre Fleury's still getting it done. I don't think he's even starting game 1.
He's not.
It's expected that it's going to be Philip Gustafsson, and I saw that they're going to do a true tandem in round 1.
Wow, that's surprising.
I don't know if that means going back and forth, or if they give 2. Or
I mean, I understand that theory and everything, but
I think Gustafsson was overall the better. I know he was overall the better
yes,
goalie.
but to me, like it just seems crazy not to start with Marc-Andre Fleury for game 1, even if you do want to
maybe
go back and forth.
I think the thinking in that would be. You give your guy who was better in the season, and maybe you think
a stab at it.
Maybe you think he is the better goalie right now. You give him a stab at it, but you have the best insurance in the whole league sitting on the bench.
That's true, and what we got to remember is this could be Marc-Andre Fleury's last games.
And what you also got to remember is Marc-Andre Fleury's been here in playoffs before. He's sat on the bench while Matt Murray started.
Yeah.
And then if Matt Murray, did he get hurt that year? Did he get injured when Marc-Andre Fleury came in when Pittsburgh was pretty much done?
Fleury started out and then Fleury got injured.
Oh.
And then that's when Matt Murray took over. But I think Fleury came back, but Matt Murray was so hot, they just kept riding Murray.
I thought there was a time where Murray actually was starting and Fleury on the bench, and then Fleury came in.
I think that was the second season of their back-to-back.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, they have the best insurance policy that you could ask for in a backup goalie, if you even call him a backup. But they're not calling him; it's just a tandem.
No. But I think this series is
1A,
a toss-up,
1B,
though.
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, toss up for sure.
Game 7 for me.
Game 7 for me, and I want the Wild. And
I want the Wild too.
okay.
Yep.
So we're on the same page.
100% on the Wild.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Wild and 7.
Yep.
Jake Ottinger had an unbelievable season. He should be shouted out. He was 37, 11, and 11 with 5 shutouts.
Yep, my fantasy goalie this year.
.919 save percentage and a 2.37 goals against. Pretty good numbers.
Very good. And to me, if Dallas wins, it's because Jake was,
Yeah.
he was the better.
Max
goalie in that
Domi,
series.
I could see being a factor in playoffs. So he's that
I
type
know.
of player,
Like Dallas could actually make a very strong run for
which
it.
they've done. Like they went to the cup.
always- yeah,
they went to
they've-
the cup final like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
One of the bubble years.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yep.
all right. Minnesota and 7.
Yep.
Moving on to our next one, we got a 1 seed Vegas Golden Knights against the second wild card team who just scraped in with 85 points.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Winnipeg Jets. Goals per game, Vegas slightly better. Goals against per game, basically identical. Vegas with the better power play. Winnipeg with the better penalty kill.
Winnipeg with the better goalie.
To me, this is a 1 versus 8 essentially.
Yep.
But to me, a part of me actually thinks the Jets have a legit shot to win this series.
I think they have a chance as well.
I still feel like they're missing something. Like, obviously, Paul Maurice last year just kind of said, hey, they need something different in this room. Like, I'm just not going to be that guy for them. And they just basically had a Paul Maurice regular season again. Like, nothing really changed for the Jets this year. There was a lot of frustrating moments for the team, a lot of ups, a lot of downs, whatever. So I just,
a lot of
part of me
downs.
doesn't know if the Jets,
a lot of downs.
a lot of downs. Like, they just scraped in.
Yeah.
So a part of me doesn't know if the Jets have it in them.
Yeah.
But a part of me also thinks, hey, you got Connor Hellebuyck. You do have some really good players. Josh Morrissey had an unbelievable season.
Yeah, he's a Norris candidate.
Like 4 or 5
Shifley,
very good
Wheeler.
top 6 forwards.
Yep.
Like they have a good team.
Pierre-Luc Dubois.
Yeah.
Do you know who's starting game 1 for Vegas without looking? Would you be able to?
Is it Brossard?
Yeah. You know how many games he's played this year?
No.
10.
No, he hasn't.
He's 7-0-3 on the year.
Really?
That's what it says.
Holy shit.
I don't know if he came from another team or was he there all year.
No, he was there all year.
So hurt.
I guess.
He played 10 games. He didn't lose.
Who started most of them?
He didn't lose in regulation.
Wow.
I don't have that. I just know he's confirmed for game 1.
Wow. Yeah, that's...
Jonathan Quick is there. Logan Thompson. Aiden
Thompson.
Yeah.
Thompson played a bulk of them, I think.
Quick. Thompson played the bulk of them for sure, and Aiden Hill had a good stretch. But I don't know.
So Vegas kind of has 4 goalies rolling around in a way.
Yeah, and Quick's back there. You don't want to sleep on Quick in playoffs. Obviously, he's been there, done that.
Yeah,
but he's just
I'd
confirmed
be shocked
not.
if he started a game. Even if their first goalie went for a dump.
Yeah, so I think goaltending is why Winnipeg has a shot, as you said. I don't really trust Winnipeg's team. I personally, I hear your points. I don't think they'll beat Vegas, but Vegas could be fraudulent too. I don't know.
That's the thing. They had a bad year last year, and things are just kind of weird coming into this year.
Is Mark Stone back?
Yes, Mark Stone. So he's missed the last 3 months, I think.
Yeah,
he's back.
Okay.
He's back. So the LTR is in effect for the Vegas Golden Knights come these playoffs.
Right. Because he only played 43 games this year. He had 38 points.
Stone is back.
Phil the Thrill out there getting it done.
Jack Heigl, what a crew of guys.
Yeah. 14 goals for Phil this year. Just shocking that he played all 82 games once again.
Yeah.
Phil Kessel just continuing to live the dream.
Yeah.
Eating hot dogs, eating whatever he wants to eat.
Having a shot at the cup.
Having a shot at the cup every year and always being on a good team, except that little stretch in Arizona. But other than that, he just finds his way on really good teams and he scores goals on really good teams, continues to do it.
Yeah. So I'm on board with going Vegas here.
Yeah.
To me, it's a debate of 6 or 7 games.
Okay. Yeah. Dunk 6 or 7 games. We think Vegas is going to beat the Jets, but is it going to be 6 or 7?
7.
Yeah.
The
Could do
house
it.
doesn't always win.
No.
That's true.
Game 7 in Vegas would be bumping too.
That would be absolutely, and that's the thing.
And the whiteouts in Winnipeg.
Yes, I was going to say
Yeah.
Minnesota, or not Minnesota. Winnipeg
Yeah.
has huge advantages playing.
Yeah. I think every team should give out T-shirts of the exact same color to everybody that comes to the game.
I know.
And make them wear it. That
Like, who
looks
wants
so
to see
cool.
the Leaf fans wear their suits and ties? Like, it's BS. Let's get some creativity going on there.
Sea of blue. I want
Yes.
get every person that can afford a ticket to get in there. Shout out whoever that is, because you're rich.
Yeah.
Congratulations
Yeah.
If
on
you can afford a ticket, you can afford a jersey.
Yeah, so wear blue. Everyone should wear blue. I know most of Toronto's hearing this podcast right now. If you're going to the
Wear
game,
blue.
wear blue.
Wear blue.
You heard it.
Yep.
We'll expect to see you guys wearing blue tomorrow.
Yep.
Tonight, as you're hearing this. That's it's not full reality to me yet. That
It will be tomorrow, though, dude. Like, there's going to be major nerves going on throughout the day.
yeah, I might take the day off.
Really?
No, I would just be pacing all day if I did that. I need
That'd
to work.
almost be worse for
it
you.
would for sure be worse. 1,000%. Yeah, but
Our last first round series.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Edmonton Oilers against the LA Kings. Edmonton with home ice advantage. A rematch of the first round of last year for these two teams. Edmonton averaging almost 4 goals per game. Colorado, why do I keep saying the wrong things?
I don't know.
LA, 3.3 goals against per game. LA slightly better. Power play percentage, Edmonton 33%, which is by far the highest I've seen going through all these teams.
Yeah.
Penalty kill percentage about the same. And obviously
have
the
you-
Connor McDavid factor.
did you see the two goalies starting? Like I've just been blown away going through this right now. Don't look.
Okay. I
Can
didn't
you
see.
could you name the starting goalie on each team
like,
for game 1?
is Stuart Skinner starting for the
Yeah.
Oilers? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And who's starting for the Kings?
It's not Cal Pedersen.
No.
They signed him to a long-term deal. It's some other dude they have in there.
Yeah. Phoenix Copley.
Yeah, Copley, right.
Like those Stuart Skinner and Phoenix Copley are starting a playoff series against each other.
I know.
What does the
One
NHL
of
come
them's
to?
playing in the second round.
Yeah. Jack Campbell, I mean, we love the guy still. Nothing bad to say about him, but he had a bad year.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him get games in the playoffs. I don't think that Oilers are just going to walk all over the Kings in this series.
No.
I actually think the Kings have a decent chance to win this series.
Some people might say the Kings actually have a better roster.
I would be one of them.
Yeah.
And they get slept on because they after they won those cups.
Cups, multiple.
Multiple cups. They still have Kopitar from that. They still have they lost Quick. They still have Doughty.
Yeah.
So those were the two main. I'm sure there's other guys that they still have.
A lot of guys have, like, that was like Jeff Carter, Mike Richards,
Yeah.
Jarrett Stoll,
Jonathan Quick.
obviously Dustin Brown, but who's retired now.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you're right. Now they look as it's really just those two guys, but people think that
But they have a lot of good young players too.
and they signed Jonas Corposello, or they traded for him,
right, so that's their backup.
Yeah, which is it's a great backup.
Great
He's
backup.
he's and Trevor Moore's still there. Sean Dursey, Philip Deneau as he's a playoff player. We saw that unfortunately when they put the Leafs out that season when he was in Montreal. Hate to hear it, but he's a good player.
He's a good playoff player.
I assume he'll be going out every shift McDavid's on the ice. You're going to see Philip Deneau, and I don't think there's any player that can actually shut down McDavid. But if there's a player that can play defensive hockey and have Doughty out there too,
Philip Deneau.
it's Philip Deneau. So I think that's a major thing to look at in this series because he's
agree.
one of the better defensive players in the league, actually.
So when it comes down to picking a winner here, it almost feels like this one could be a bit of a toss-up.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, for Canada and for McDavid and for the league and everything like that, it should be McDavid.
Yes.
I've never been one that is like, Canada's team, Canada's player. I want to see him do good. No,
Yeah.
I want just the Leafs to do good.
Yeah.
I wish every other team could lose.
Yeah, yeah.
But
That's fair.
But I mean, I don't know.
To me, and again, like, no disrespect to LA.
Yeah.
But I would just find it absolute mayhem in Edmonton if they lost in the first round.
Yeah, it would be
And
disaster.
again, we got to remember Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
He needs some
fantastic
flowers here.
Yeah.
What did he have? I think he had 100 points.
Yeah, he did have 100 points.
Like, that is crazy. Like, a guy like Nuge this late into his career, just all of a sudden getting on board with a 100-point season, like, that is massive
37 goals, 67
that's something
assists.
they've struggled with is
104 points.
Yeah, that secondary scoring. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. The inner part of me of just recognizing how insanely incredible McDavid is at hockey, and you got to remember Draisaitl's there too.
Yep.
He doesn't get always his flowers enough, but
No,
yes, I am going to go with Edmonton as my personal pick, but we do have 3 people in the room.
We do, and I went into this segment or this series like honestly leaning LA and just like in the thoughts, but just when I go over things too, I do find it hard to see LA beating them 4 times just because of McDavid, really.
Yeah.
Like and Darnell Nurse and Evan Bouchard had a big year too, and they got Matthias Ekholm.
That's going to be a big acquisition for them in the playoffs.
They actually have like a real like number 1 shutdown defensive guy in Matthias Ekholm. I think that was the best trade they could have made, trading Tyson Barrie away and getting Ekholm. I just think that's what they
needed.
That's what they needed. They didn't need another offensive guy like Barrie is. I do see Edmonton at the end of the day taking this one home. I just don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be easy by any means.
No, I agree.
So I'm good with 7.
Okay, so just going through it: Colorado in 5, Minnesota in 7.
Yep.
Vegas in 7 or 6 was it? It was whatever Dunk said. I think it might have been 7, but
7.
Yeah, 7 in Vegas. We want Game 7 in Vegas. So the whole West is going to go to Game 7.
So Edmonton and LA are going to Game 7?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what? It could happen.
And perfect. Then no, not going to say that.
Let's finish out our board.
Yeah.
Let's finish out our board. Round 2, Colorado, Minnesota. I'm kind of leaning towards Minnesota in a way.
I don't think Colorado's going to go on a big run this year.
I don't really think so either.
I agree they're going to, I said they're going to kill Seattle. I do think they are going to. I don't think they're going to go on a big run, though.
No, and I think Minnesota's, like, they've been lurking in the playoffs for a long time now. Like, they do have a lot of really good players.
Yep, and veterans, too. Like, the guy like Matt Zuccarello hanging out back there, too. He's going to play a big factor with his long-ass stick that's, like, taller than him.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me Minnesota.
All right, let's go Minnesota.
Give it to me.
Yep, it's to you.
Okay.
And then our other second round West matchup, we got Vegas and Edmonton, which on paper, if that series happens, that's a very exciting one to watch on TV.
It is, but when I first hear
Eichel
that,
McDavid, we finally get Eichel McDavid.
Yeah. Right.
They were same draft.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
1 and 2. Yeah.
That's so irrelevant to me now because it's just
know.
not even close. I forgot why that's even a thing. But to me, when I hear that, I think Edmonton has I like Edmonton matching up against Vegas almost better than I do against LA.
I kind of do too. I just think there's more potential for McDavid to be free in that series.
Yeah, they do have Pietrangelo back there and some other good D.
They do, yeah.
Couldn't name another good D they got.
Well,
Alec
they got
Martinez, Shea Theodore,
who's allegedly Olympic roster worthy for Canada.
Nah, Morgan Riley.
Yeah, I know if it comes down to those two, but yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know a winner here. Like,
I'm fine with saying Edmonton for that.
Okay, Dunk, Edmonton or Vegas?
I would think Edmonton here.
Okay, Edmonton it is.
Okay, Edmonton's going on a run.
So then to finish out the West, we got Minnesota, Edmonton.
Wow. See, this is the West is wide open.
I know.
I could see this bracket being like if you gave me 30 very trusted NHL analysts, or we're in that category.
Yeah.
We're part of that.
We're
trusted
going to be
analysts.
getting votes soon, so that we can vote on
probably Hall of Fame votes soon too.
Yeah.
But we're a part of that, and I would think everybody's bracket in the West at least has a chance to look very different. Mm-hmm. Like I could see, some of those first rounds that we talked about going to other ways.
Yes, like Dallas, for example.
Yeah,
Dallas could be on their way to the going far.
Honestly, but I just I'm getting Minnesota vibes. I told you
I'm okay
I didn't
with that because I'm not sure we can just come out here and have Edmonton and Toronto.
No, I don't want that either.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I know.
I do not want that, dude.
No, me neither. Okay, I'm already hitting Minnesota.
Yeah,
we got Minnesota and Toronto competing for the Stanley Cup Finals, and yes, let's go. And I might be wrong, but Dallas actually might be the betting favorite for that first round series
Okay, so
against Minnesota. So
if
we're going off the board a bit, which
it
needs to happen sometimes.
100% it does. I bet if you want to find the Chump Talk exclusive bet in any sports book, it won't say Chump Talk exclusive, but any sports book, if you want to go Leafs and Wild as your Stanley Cup final, I'm sure your odds would be pretty nice.
We're not done.
Oh,
we got to pick a winner.
No.
We have to submit this bracket.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
You have to do
Yeah, you do have to do that.
I'm waiting.
Man, the Leafs. Who would be the home team there?
The Leafs. They would have more points.
So we're going to AC or Scotiabank
for 4-7
for game 1. In June. Imagine the Leafs playing hockey in June.
Yeah.
Take June.
Like, are we just saying F it here and putting the Leafs?
Well, we're not picking Minnesota.
No, we're not. Okay, total goals in this series is the last thing we have to do, between 35 to 50. I'm just going to guess.
High number.
40.
No, give me 42.
42.
Jackie Robinson.
True.
It was Jackie Robinson Day past weekend.
Yep.
Wow. When I woke up this morning, I didn't think I'd be sitting here at 6:30 on a Monday night saying it's going to be the Minnesota Wild versus the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup final.
No, I didn't predict our bracket going that way, even slightly. There we are. Congrats, your picks are in.
Yep.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow. And that is our playoff preview, I guess.
Yeah.
But when this comes out, it is Tuesday. The Monday night games have already happened, but it is Tuesday. It is opening day here for our Leaf Nation. So let's just remember not to be... this is not for us, just for the people listening out there.
Yep.
Let's never be too negative on our boys, no matter what happens in the game.
Yep.
If we lose the first round, then negativity is definitely open. But until then, let's get behind our team here and
like you said,
let's make something
year,
special happen.
Like you said last year. Not too high, not too low.
Not too high. No.
Yes.
You can't.
Those words were said after their first playoff game the Leafs played. They beat Tampa, I think, with a shutout. 4-0 or 5-0 or
and
whatever.
we were high.
And we were high on the Leafs for sure. And
So
no doubt.
Yeah.
no doubt at all.
Not a doubt in my mind.
High on the Leafs, and that's something you just. That's like, it's along the lines of keep pounding. It's something you can take with you anywhere in life.
Yeah.
Not too high, not too low, and that's what we have to do as fans. And the Leafs need us this year. We talked about this a little bit.
They need us.
We need to be fully focused on
I'm going to lose it.
game.
I honestly might have to take a break off Twitter if I see start negative shit.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask, what's your betting protocol for Leafs playoff games?
I'm not betting on them.
Good.
Nope. No games.
I am just a true fan of
Me too.
the sport of hockey and the Leafs winning.
Yep, I'll bet on maybe another team, but probably not even. But I just want to enjoy the Leafs. I don't want to be worried about what I got going on. I need a Marner assist or whatever. I do not give a shit about points. Whoever gets them, I just want to see a damn.
If I were to place a bet, it would be like just Leafs money line, like the Leafs to win.
I'm not doing that because those are the games they'll lose, and then the next game I won and they'll win. That's what happened last year. So
so just if you won't at all, then we're good.
Yeah, we might sweep them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so no betting.
No betting.
No betting from the boys in the Leafs playoff series.
No, it's just too close to the heart to have a true opinion on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give one betting tip for anybody looking to bet on the Leaf game. David Kampf had a couple of goals in last, maybe even just one, but he's just the type of guy that if you want to get a little off the board anytime goal scorer guy in a playoff series, I would sprinkle a little bit on David Kampf. I personally won't. But that would be my recommendation for anybody looking for a little off the board anytime goal scorer in the Leaf series. David Kampf just finds a way to get some big goals in big games.
And someone who does in the regular season, and I don't want to say this name, but I'm just going to say it just because it happened in just whatever. Nick Paul.
Oh,
that guy, he doesn't really do much in the regular season points wise, but wow, does he ever just find a way in the playoffs?
Yep. 2 goals in the 2-1 win in Game 7 against the Leafs.
Yep. And with that, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now that it's like Tuesday and, you know, we know the day is a great song, by the way.
Good job, Dunk.
But let's go Leafs. Let's go Leafs.
Yeah.
Like, let's get behind this team. We got a chance to see something special here. We've never seen the second round Leafs, so, like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine the
I
buzz
need
that
that
it
in
would
my
be.
life.
I know.
I
know. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go Leafs.
Let's go Leafs. No, let's go Leafs. Go.
Oh yeah.
Go Leafs. Go.
Go Leafs. Go. Go Leafs. Go. Go Leafs. Go.
Where players dash with skates of flash, the home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees, they travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside, it's a 1-1 hockey game.